Hello everyone, it's Kranzik in here, and today I'm gonna show you how to make this. Alright guys, so that was just a small snippet of what we're going to take a look at today. So you can follow the tips that I'm going to give right now to create your own track, or maybe just get inspired. And speaking of inspiration, the first thing that I started when making this track was this guitar loop right here. Okay, so the original sample, sounded like this. It was much more softer, it wasn't so harsh, so distorted. And by the way, I wanted it to have that distorted sound into it. I wanted it to have a specific sound and a specific feel or mood. I don't know. It's all about experimentation and what you like to hear and what you like to create, sound design things. So let's see what I have going on in here. So first thing first, as you can see, I just added a normal parametric EQ. I removed the lows, okay? Then I have added another EQ. This one is kind of different because I removed some of the mids and boosted some of the highs. This just made it sound a bit tighter. Basically, I'm constructing the character, the final product of the sound. My next move was that I added a simple OTT. We all use OTT, so I just played a little bit with the knobs right here, and I tweaked it to my liking. It just sounds more compressed and more present. So let's go to the main start of the show. Little Altar Boy. So I opened it, I chose the preset small chorus, or chorus, I don't know how you pronounce it. And this is the final, this is like, not the final, but this is the thing that gave our sound its true character. So I didn't change anything right here, when it comes to the pitch and the format. I just played around with the drive and the mix. Yeah, and that's how I made the sound. My next move was a very simple delay. And I have done that using the FabFilter Timeless 2. I really love this plugin, so I just went and chose the Echo 3 preset, and beautiful. So the next thing that I did, or that I've done, I don't know how you guys say things, was the reverb. So I didn't want to drown the whole sound into reverb and just make it lose its character. No, but I added a I applied it, or I set it to 12%, mix wise, and I've added like 1.32 seconds of decay. And yeah, as simple as that. See, it just sounds full. So I hit it with another EQ, and I just removed some frequencies that were a little bit annoying. So as you can see, I boosted some highs, and I took away some frequencies right here. Yeah, it just depends on how you hear things and if they're comfortable or not. Once again, another EQ. I'm in love with EQs. So another low cut, because there were some weird low end things after I added the reverb, so yeah, I had to take them down. And finally, I have added stereo shaper. So I added this stereo shaper just to kind of push it back into the mix, just push it in the background and still make it wide. Okay. Okay, so now let's move to the bass. This is the bass. So again, I have a pretty beefy sound. As I said before, I wanted, or I don't know, I don't think I've said this, but I wanted this track to be beefier, to be kind of distorted, and to be just punchy, you know. So it's a very simple, pattern. I just put the loop, the guitar loop, on loop or on repeat, and I created a pattern that I felt it fit that loop. So some people prefer to use 808s for this bass, but I just picked a very simple preset from this plugin. It's called Diva. I think it's a free plugin, I don't know. So the preset is called Black Fuzz. Okay, and you know, also this sound, if I take off the effects, see, it was super annoying, if that's the right word. So what I did is I simply added a fruity EQ plugin. So I took off the high frequencies. Then I added a sausage fattener. Because remember how I said I wanted things to sound beefy. And speaking of beef, you know, what other plugin you could use than sausage fattener, you know? So you can already feel that it's vibrating into your ears. And then I added the FabFilter Simplon. I chose the preset Boost Bass, so just to give it a boost. You know, I could have added a separate sub bass and then just cut all the low end off this bass, but I just didn't want to do that. So we have the main star of the show, which is the guitar, and then we added it with some you know, other lead actors. We have the bass, and then the next move is to add a simple lead. Okay, so once again I added very simple patterns when it came to the lead. This is it. As you can see, I don't think you'll find anything simpler than this. And it repeats, and yeah, that's it. So for this sound, I also chose the plugin Diva, and I picked this plugin. It's called Chili Paste Duo. So you know, this sound was super annoying at first. Here's how it sounds. You know, it was super dry, and I don't know how it felt, almost like a mosquito. So what I did was I immediately knew that I had to drown it into reverb, right? Reverb, like very, very rich and full sound. Then I added an EQ. I have a very weird shape. So again, it's all about experimentation. You just do whatever you like and whatever you feel fits your project. So yeah, I cut out all the lows and I cut out the highs. I left some of them. So it just sounds like it's super far away. I added an OTT just to kind of compress it. Compress it a bit and then give it some volume. You know, give it back some of its lost volume. And then I added another stereo shaper. So I played around with these sliders. And I also tried to push it into the back of the mix. Okay, if we try and put everything together, here's how everything sounds. Okay, so yeah, we only need some drums and some elements to fill in the empty spaces. Speaking of elements, I added this ambiance, as they say in French. It's like a vocal shot, but it's super long, and then it has some weird things into it. Okay, so Vox Ambiance. For this one, I didn't add any effects, so I just added the Pan Man, which is a plugin to pan things, you know, for panning. I have another vocal chop thing. This vocal chop is going to play throughout the whole track, it's not going to stop. And yeah, here's how the two vocal things sound. Okay, here's everything together so far. Okay, very nice, very nice, very nice. Now let's go to the drums. Okay, so we're going to start by the hi-hats. Okay, so once again, simplicity is key. I like to create simple things. So yeah, maybe you'll find some people creating the most unique hi-hat patterns, and I'm not against that. It can be good at a certain extent, but I just wanted to create something. And I also added I added some reverb. I don't usually add reverb into my hi-hats, but I don't know. I was experimenting and it sounded cool, so I left it. So reverb and sausage fattener. Okay, and I played around with the EQ right here because I had some low end that I didn't wanna. I cut out some of the highs because it was a bit too harsh. Okay, then I have a weird kind of like shaker that comes every now and then, you know, it just like surprises you. And then we have a rim shot. And then I have a so I put those into a bus with the kick. So I combined the kick with the rim shot and the little shaker, just for some side chaining purposes. Okay, so here's the kick. So I wanted to, of course, I wanted my drums to stand out because I have some pretty unique sounds, and I wanted to have a pretty unique drums too. Okay, so here's my kick. Okay, so as I said, I put it in the same channel as the rim shot, so it has the same effects. Speaking of effects, as we said before, I have a very simple saturation plugin. So FabFilter Saturn, affecting the highs. I have a sausage fattener, and I added an EQ just to kind of boost some of the highs, just to make them a little bit present. See how it sounds? It's pretty punchy. Okay, the next thing I did was I added this unique hi-hat pattern. It's like real drums. It's sampled from a real drum set or something. So the original was sounding like this, or sounded like this. So I just chopped it into you know, a more likable rhythm, you know, and then yeah, this is what I have. I also have some panning happening, being applied to it, you know. Yeah, that's it. And then I have another pattern here, or another loop. Yeah, it's as simple as that. The next thing I added was, so, you know, some very simple samples, like a crash. And I have like a glass breaking thing. Okay, we have another crash. These are my drums. Here's everything together so far. Okay, so the very last thing that I added was a vinyl crackle. Okay, yeah, it's as simple as that. So let's go back to the sidechain real quick. And what I did was I gave my kick, I gave it its very own channel, as we said before, so channel 2, and then I created this channel here. I called it sidechain. So you go here, okay, you click on your kick, you come back here, you click, you make a right click, or you do a right click, and then you press on sidechain to this track. Okay, you basically do the same procedure, but instead of choosing the sidechain to this track, you click route to this track only. So, you know, I think it's pretty obvious. I sidechained the lead, the bass, and the guitar, and some of the loops that I had, like the Vox ambience, the vocal chop, you know, everything that I wanted to be sidechained, I just sidechained it to this one. After you do that, you go ahead and then add a fruity limiter. Okay, you open it up. It's usually like this, so you click on comp, and then you go here on sidechain, right click, and then you choose your kick. So for me, it was kick plus rim shot, because I wanted both of the rim shot and the kick to affect the volume of everything, you know. I wanted them to stand out. So I guess it's time for us to listen to the full track. Here we go. Alright guys, so that was the project that I've made. I hope you like it, I hope it matched your standards, and I hope you learned something from it, or at least you enjoyed it, okay? If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't, dislike it too, okay? That would be good, but at least give me some criticism if you think I should improve on something, or if you think that I didn't explain it too well for you. Everything is welcome, okay? So write it down, type it down, and I'll take a look at it. And before we go, there is this one simple thing that I found, which is a vocal, a Pop Smoke vocal. If you have some more time to listen to this whole thing again with a vocal, feel free to do it. If you don't, see you next time. Here it is.
Baby, welcome to the party. Sexy. I got the X, the shrooms, the acid. Yes, you can see I'm a savage. Don't try this at home, I'm a savage. Baby, welcome to the party. She pulled up in the Benz, she came with a friend. I told her meet my nigga Bari. I'm a villain, I'm feeling like Carti. Yeah, you see the fit, I'm a die lit. I beat it, I bust and I dip. I told the witch, stop following me. She stalking me, she tryna ruin my trip. These niggas coming round screaming gang, gang. I ain't never seen you on the strip. Never ever had the pebs in your mouth. Never ever had a tool in the whip. Had heavy metal like a bench press. It's a waste of time sending death threats. I got love letters I ain't read yet. The club's closed, we ain't left yet. Fuck a dress code, we're the best dress. Double R's in my headrest. Asked her if she's coming and she said yes. The shopping sprees and the best sex. But you're just a silly nigga with your silly rap, snitching on yourself in your verses. I was driving home so the light was on, pull up on your girl for a service. And when it's showtime, they be taking money out their purses. It's 100 racks when I touch a stage. How could I ever get